All right, we're back. We were talking about the astral body. If you haven't watched part one, then you might want to back up and watch part one before you watch this so you won't be confused as of what I'm talking about, all right? Like I said at the ending of the last video, none of the other subtle bodies shapes the average person's view of the world and reality as strongly as does the astral body. The astral body really does shape your view of the world because, again, it is your emotions. Like we said, when your mother is pregnant with you, the seed of her emotions shapes your reality as well. Okay? So, what has had a great influence on you is your astral body. And how can we say that? It shapes your reality very strongly. Okay? So, it shapes your reality very strong. All right? It also stores unresolved emotions, conscious and unconscious fears and aggressions. So it stores your emotions and your conscious and unconscious fears. Okay? And aggressions, I'm sorry. Did I spell aggressions right? Yes. Okay. As well as feelings of loneliness, rejection, lack of self-confidence, and etc. So when you have a lack of, so let's say stores, what did it say? Feelings of loneliness, rejection, and a lack of self confidence. Okay. So it stores and etc. So it stores pretty much everything you feel and think. If you want to fix being lonely, if you want to fix dealing with rejection, if you want to fix dealing with your anger, if you want to fix dealing with being depressed, if you want to fix dealing with self-confidence, then you need to go to the astral body because the seat of your emotions is how you're going to balance out and fix all of these problems. Excuse me, guys, I'm having some digestion problems today, but this is how you want to deal with every problem that you're going through with the astral body. That's how you fix all the emotions that you're dealing with. You fix them through your astral body, okay? Now, these vibrations are transmitted through the emotional aura and sends or passes on unconscious messages to the external world. So basically, this is where the law of attraction comes in, or the law of mutual attraction comes into play. You're sending out these vibrations of fear, whether it's conscious or unconscious, aggression, loneliness, rejection, lack of self-confidence, a lack of self-love. You're sending these vibrations out to the universe. So the energy that is out there in the universe or in the world picks up on what you're vibrating or how you're vibrating, okay? And whether it's fear, whether it's anger, whether it's loneliness, no matter what it is, it picks up on it and it sends whatever you're vibrating right back to you. Okay, a good movie to watch would be Edmund. We watched that with Marty and her family up there when we was up there in California. Edmund, basically everything he of course it's Caucasian people in the movie. Everything he feared was coming true. You know what I mean? And when it all was said and done, I guess he feared being in prison and being in prison with a black man with a big penis or something to that degree. So his worst fear, and I really learned how they thought about us somewhat of a degree in that movie. My daughter, we had a conversation yesterday where she was watching something on, I guess, YouTube or Facebook or something to that matter. I don't know. And this video where this white man was given, or this 13-year-old white boy, a Caucasian boy, was given examples as of why he wouldn't date a black person. And the main reason why is because he didn't want to have a baby by them, because the baby would come out attractive if it was a boy, have all this curly hair, and he would molest the child. And, I was like, wow, listening to her, because I already know these things. You see what I'm saying? But to let her, she's hearing me teaching her this stuff, and she's actually hearing it come out of a mouth of a Caucasian person. That was a bit much. So just to say, go without saying that your emotions your astral body is the seat of your emotions, and how you feel is what you're going to attract back to you, if that makes any sense. Okay, to make a long story short. Anyway. So basically we already know that it is the catalyst for the law of attraction. The famous law of attraction, right? All right. So yeah. Okay. So the energy vibrations which we send out attracts the same vibrations from our environment and unites with them. All right. This means that we are frequently with precisely, okay, down to a science, the people and circumstances that mirror what we are consciously avoiding, or what we want to be rid of, or what we fear. Basically was what I was just saying a minute ago. What you really don't want is what you're constantly attracting to yourself, because this is where you give most emphasis on. Because again, if you're unbalanced, if your astral body is not balanced out, these are the things that you're going to be going through. And you're going to be saying things like, but why? I don't understand. Why do I keep attracting these type of people? What is going on? Well, you might want to go to your astral body, and you might want to do some checking, because it's the mirror, the man in the mirror, talking about the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. Yeah, basically. Shout out to Michael Jackson. Thumbs up. Anyway. Let's say the spirit of Michael Jackson. Yeah. Anyway. What you do is you're sending, like I said, you send that dialogue out. And so it's not a coincidence what you're going through. It's not a mistake. It's not an accident. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be in this type of situation. It's not a coincidence. It's not a mistake. There's no flaws in this system, the way we come here and the way things work. Our ancestors knew these sciences. We need to remember them. Now we're having to learn about these books from foreigners. You see what I'm saying? But you also have to let it activate what's already there inside of you. This is what is so important in the matter of who makes it to success or doesn't make it to success. It all is in you. If you're fearful of something, believe it or not, you are attracting it to you because you're putting too much emphasis on it. Some people just don't have no fear. Well, that's a good thing. It's not that they don't have fear. They just don't exercise it. They just don't exercise it. They use wisdom. Okay? But, so you're with precisely the people you need to be with, the friends you have, the enemies you have, whatever the case may be, the good, bad, the ugly, the indifferent. All of it is on purpose because it is what you are vibrating out. It's the frequency that you're on. Change your frequency. Okay? Now, in this way, our environment serves as a mirror which shows us all elements we have banned from our consciousness into our subconscious. Okay? So you have taken everything that you consciously did not want or did want and put it in your unconsciousness, okay, thinking or being, and it's stored there. So anytime you try to do something that's outside of that, it's like, no, that's not computing. That doesn't make sense. Does not compute. This is not what the brain computer is telling you to do. It tells you to do it this way. This is the way it has been programmed. This is the way that you need to do it. The system will malfunction on you. It will. If it can't register. System shut down in less than 5 seconds. I'm laughing, but it's the truth. Because if you do not pay attention to these things, if you don't hurry up and program what you see is not programmed correctly, it will come. The more time that something has to grow, the more of a monster it'll become, for lack of better terms, okay? The bigger the problem it will be. And it'll be harder and harder. You know, like, after living here for 33 years and, you know, running into new programming, it was kind of difficult for me because I did not really know how to get rid of the old programming at first. And I went through 3 years worth of hell, honestly, to flush out or deprogram myself so that I can reprogram myself. I went through some hell, you know, but I figure and assume that that is, you know, because I'm supposed to teach others so they won't have to go through that hell. You see what I'm saying? That's the only way I can look at it. Because if I don't look at it like that, I'll be disgruntled about it like I was and angry about it. The best healers are the ones who've had to heal themselves. So with that goes without saying, the best teachers are the ones who have to go through the experiences. So, you know, whatever you are afraid of, you need to become unafraid of it, because that is like attracting it, you know, to you. And I remember thinking when I was young, I don't want to be in this kind of situation. And I found myself being in this kind of a situation because I feared it, you know. But I've learned how to reprogram myself, and I'm doing that is what I'm doing. All right. Now, however, unresolved feelings in the astral body are anxious to stay alive and, if possible, to increase. I told you that. But I already said that, though, right? They don't want to die. It, like I said, we were not programmed for this. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't want to die. It wants to live on. It's just like the Matrix. That part of the Matrix, or that particular Matrix, it doesn't want to die. So the program just keep doing everything it can to stay alive. And that means it will fight back. If it has to make you sick, if it has to do anything it has to do to stay there, it will do it. So be care of that. Take care and beware of that. And it will constantly lead you into situations time and time again that entail a repetition of the original emotional vibration, for these vibrations form a source of nourishment for them. I told you that. It doesn't, like misery loves company, right? Those vibrations want other miserable people to be miserable together. So it'll keep attracting it. Like I said, time and time again, it will constantly bring it into play what it wants. You have to kill the beast. All right. Now let me go to a better example that they have in the book. If a person carries unresolved fear with him or her, they will frequently attract situations which confirms this very fear. If another harbors aggressions, For example, he will come across people who live out their anger and aggression again and again. For example, if we have to resolve not to complain anymore in certain situations without having resolved the basic aggression, it can very well happen that somebody in our vicinity will suddenly begin to holler at us. You know how when you always say, I'm not going to do this no more, or this is how I'm going to do stuff from now on, right? Situations, it's like when you always change and something always happen. And when they just say, when you in church, you know, God always tests your faith. God is always testing your faith, huh? Right? Okay. Your programming in your astral body does not want you to change. So what it does, I'm going to create a smoke screen. I'm going to create a visage, or, you know, an illusion, so that they can stay in this vibration, because I've been in this vibration so long, I'm comfortable in this vibration. And then you feed the ego. But that's a whole nother topic. Conscious thought and the intellectual goals of the mental body have little influence on the astral body. The astral body is just that strong that it has more influence over your thoughts. You can think one thing, but that vibration, that pattern, that direction of vibration that it is used to, that's what it's going to lean on. That's what it's going to rely on. You see what I'm saying? You can think you want to change all you want to, but until you change the programming in that astral body, you got a problem, because you're not going to be able to do it. It follows its own laws. The astral body follows its own, your emotions follow its own law. That's why you should meditate in a certain emotion, okay, too long. Don't focus on being angry. Don't focus on being sad. Don't focus on being depressed. Don't focus on this. Leave it alone. Because the longer you dwell on it, the bigger it grows. Okay? It can direct external behavior, but cannot override subconscious patterns. Okay? Your astral body, your emotions can't override your emotions. It just is not going to happen. You have to go in there and override your emotions. Okay? So that's why it's so important to balance out your chakras. And it's so important to balance out, you know, everything about yourself. To eat the right foods. Okay, every now and then if you want to eat something that's not too good for you, I don't see that being a problem. And it could be an ancestor wanting to communicate with you. Like I was telling my daughter, it's an exchange sometimes. You know what I mean? For information. Have you ever heard the saying, what would you do for this? You know, how you see the commercials, what would you do for a Klondike bar, which is so damn stupid. But, I mean, it could be exchanging information. But anyway, you have to balance out. You have to go within and see what the problem is. Like, I found out that my digestion was sitting in my astral body, the root of my acid reflux and my hiatal hernia and this whatever is going on with my body digestive wise, it sits in my astral body. Once I figured that out and I started going into my emotions and started seeing what was in there and balancing them out and fine tuning them, I feel so much better. I don't have acid reflux like that right now. And it's only been 3 days that I've been accomplishing this, but I feel really, really good about what I'm doing. Because it makes every bit of difference. I eat before, way before 6. Okay. And I might drink some fluids after that. You know, waters, juices, maybe some wine or something like that, beer. But other than that, I'm fine. I wake up, I feel good. You know what I mean? I'm just learning how to fine tweak and balance out who I am. All right. So, let's see where we at. Okay. Therefore, a person may consciously strive for love and success, and yet unconsciously radiate contradictory feelings of jealousy, contradictory jealousy frequencies, or lacking self-confidence, thus preventing him or her from reaching their conscious goal. I know I can speak through this because I've had experience in this. The fear of, what if I don't make enough money to eat? You know, what if nobody likes my products? Or what if nobody wants to buy what I'm selling? You see, that already puts a roadblock, because you already have lack and you already have no confidence. It's like if I don't like my video, it's like, oh, I don't really like it. And then who else is going to like it if I don't like it, right? So whatever you vibrating within yourself, no matter how you strive to do something different, again, if it's jealousy, it's going to come out. If it's anger, it's going to come out. Whatever it is that's keeping this barrier, go into your astral body, your emotions, and figure it out. Don't go take no goddamn pill. Don't mask over the emotion, because it's not going to fix the problem. I've been on antidepressants before. I know. In my early 20s. I cut that shit about, 4 or 6 months of that shit, and I was through. And it took me almost 5 years to get back to being normal. Okay? It masks over it. It does not fix it. It makes it worse. And then after a while, your body get immune to that. Then they want to put you on something else. You're like a guinea pig, It's like you're a garbage pail. And then you're eating the wrong type of foods. You're probably going to fast food. Fast food. Think about it. I've had to discipline myself on this. Fast food. I don't even eat out. Barely eat out. I get cravings for it, and then what I'll do is I'd rather go, if I have a craving for something, I'd rather go in the grocery store, prepare it, eat it, than to go to a fast food restaurant. I'd rather go, if I want some flesh, I would rather go somewhere to buy clean flesh, like cleaner flesh, like if I know where a farmer was, who sold that. Or if I go to Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, you get a better quality of it. That's better than going out buying fast food. Fast food is exactly what it is. Fast. It's going to run through your system fast. It's going to make you sick fast. It's going to kill you faster. It's going to make you fat. It's going to make you stupid. It's going to make you docile. You know what I mean? It's going to change you. It's going to make you into a droid to a certain degree. The shit that they're putting in that food. When I smell McDonald's, it makes my stomach hurt. I'm not going to tell you it don't smell good, but it makes me sick to my stomach. It's just certain things I just cannot eat, and I choose not to eat them. Whether my body want to crave them, and like I said, if I get the craving for something, I mean, if I'm out and I'm hungry and my stomach is, I go somewhere else. I ain't going to stop at no McDonald's. I'm not going to stop at Burger King. I'm going to stop somewhere else. Chipotle's or something. But you have to eat how you poor people eat like that. People who are unconscious about who they are and what's going on. They eat like that. Slave food. Think about it. The elite do not eat like that. People who are conscious about that type of stuff and are up on certain statuses, and they don't eat like that. Okay? So it's very important what you put in your body. Let's keep going, because I got all off track. If emotional problems are not resolved, they will continue to exist through successive incarnations. And since the astral body survives physical death and joins the new physical body after reincarnation, the unresolved experiences stored in the astral body will also determine the conditions of the new life to a large extent. Not only can mama and daddy affect you in that way, but you can affect you in that way, because whatever you did in the last lifetime. What if you was a rapist in the last lifetime? You're going to get raped in your new lifetime. It's a possibility. Or you always be in a victim mentality in this life. It can happen. Whatever you did from the last lifetime can carry over into this lifetime emotionally. Because again, that astral body, you don't get a new one. You only get a new etheric body. That astral body, the mental body, and the spiritual body, which they call the cognitive body, those remain the same. And those are heavy imprints on your soul. Those are what helps you balance out your karma as well. You have to learn how to read the blueprint on your soul so that you can know how to live in this lifetime. And I will talk about that in another video. If someone is interested, let me know. But that is another video that I'm going to be coming with pretty soon. Because I have always known to read the blueprint of my soul. I just didn't know that's what it was. I just knew what I was supposed to do. I just knew certain things was going to happen in my life. Like I knew I was going to be where I was in my 30s today. Not to the T, but I knew I was going to get married to an older man in my 30s. All these things I already knew. I knew I was going to have children, and by the time I was 40, all my children were going to be grown. I already knew these things. These are things I already knew when I was like really young, running around, under the age of 10. I knew these things. Some of the stuff I tried to prevent, some of them I didn't. Like, I knew I was going to come into a 3-year stint where it was nothing but just sadness and depression and confusion and chaos. I saw these things coming. So since I saw these things coming, I was able to prepare for them. Does that make sense? Because I read the blueprint of my soul. All right. So whatever emotional problems, like say if you dealt with depression in your last lifetime, right? Or jealousy, or being a gambler, or drinking, or whatever the case may be. You may be dealing with that in this lifetime too, because it carries over. Unless you figure out how to resolve it in this lifetime. And this is the best lifetime to be here because you get to balance out all your karma. So you can go home, right? Home phone home. All right. But anyway, if you don't balance that out, you're going to have problems. And you might not be able to see it in the beginning of your life. But when you hit that 30 mark, oh, them issues going to come out, baby. They're going to already been leaking out in your 20s. But once you hit that 30 mark, baby, them issues going to come out. And you, what's wrong? Oh, no. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. All right. Now, once you have fully understood these matters, you will have no other choice than to stop seeing yourself as a victim and stop making everybody else responsible for what you're going through. Okay? And then you will take responsibility for your own weaknesses and your own misery. And this will represent a great degree of liberation, but at the same time, now you know that your destiny lies in your hands, and to a very extent that you can change your life by changing yourself. That's pretty much what it is. Now, the majority of the emotional knots in the astral body are localized in the area of the solar plexus. All right. It is through this chakra that we react emotionally to direct experiences. If we wish, however, to recognize and become aware of our emotional patterns on a rational level, we have to employ the intuitive third eye chakra, the astral body's highest form of expression, to penetrate the contents of the solar plexus chakra. But even this will not entail true liberation. Emotional patterns of behavior can only be resolved via the astral body, which expresses the wisdom, love, and bliss of our higher self. At the same time, its holistic and universal character helps us recognize certain inner relationships. The connection to the astral body can be established via the heart and the crown chakra. The higher self does not condemn. It does not judge. Experiences to be good or bad. It shows us that we go through certain experiences for the sole reasoning and to understand the feelings and actions result in a separation from the divine source. And it causes suffering in order for us to grasp and understand the cosmic laws of natural balance. When you are outside of divine source, or when they say you're outside of God, you suffer badly. When you say you don't have no faith, you suffer badly. You're outside of the cosmic laws of natural balance. And melanated people all over the world are very much outside the laws of cosmic balance right now because they're dealing with something that is not natural. You know, you find yourself as a victim or a perpetrator in those areas. I'm sorry. Those areas of your life where you are a victim at, you were once the perpetrator in past incarnations, and that's what I told you before. You know, if you robbed people in the last lifetime, this incarnation, you might be getting a lot of stuff taken from you. Okay. So that's why you have to be careful how you live, because you don't know how it will affect you in the next lifetime. People say, well, I don't believe in reincarnation, Kylie. Well, you ain't got to, because you can be a Christian and God gonna get your ass in the next lifetime, okay? God gonna get you when you leave, when you so-called when you die, because I don't die. I transform, okay? Transform, okay, baby, transform. But you know, when you leave your home going, you think you're going to the pearly gates. Ain't it the judgment? The judgment seat, the judgment day, the God, I know you're not worker of iniquity, or get away from me, I know you're not worker of iniquity, some stuff. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just in a different aspect. Just a different aspect. All right. So let's go back a little bit. The higher self does not judge you. If you are alcoholic, if you are a drug addict, if you are a gambler, if you are a prostitute, if you are whatever you are, I hate to say it, but homosexual, whatever it is that you feel like it's a sin, your higher self don't judge you on it. Because you have to live with that, right? It's experience. You better learn from that karma and balance it out. Whatever it is. Seriously. Okay? Sins can be balanced out. They can. They can. You have to learn. Whatever is sin to you. I don't even like saying sin because it comes from the moon and all this other stuff. But whatever you think is bad, don't do it. Or if you feel like somebody else feels bad, that's on somebody else. We don't have to live. We so judgmental. We want to say it was out of balance. Yeah, it's out of balance, but shit, what ain't out of balance nowadays, right? You have to determine if it's unnatural for you or not. Okay, we can't be a judge to each other. And your solar plexus chakra is where you feel your gut feeling. I don't have the book in front of me, you guys. I apologize. Hold on. We're gonna do part 3. This is the last part to this video. So just bear with me and give me a second. See you in a minute.